3:14. Today is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. And as I said, this is the committee of the whole meeting. I am the Fourth Ward Councilman, Mike Ray, and I will be chairing the meeting. And we'll do the roll call as the first item. And to my right,
Julius Oliver, First Ward City Council.
Amber White, 7th Ward City Councilwoman.
Jimmy Hughes, Second Ward.
Charles Shasha, Public Works. Mike Drummond, Building and Grounds, Street.
Derek McDowell, Mayor.
John Lightly, Pro Fire.
Chief Portman Kelly, Youngstown Fire.
Jonathan Huff, Chief of Staff.
Adam Benty, Law Department.
Kyle Mizak, Finance.
Pat Kelly, Fifth Ward.
Sydney Canty, 21 News.
Andy, Resident Communications.
Rich Harvey Finance.
Josie Lyon, president of Bike Share Youngstown.
Valencia Merrill, City Clerk.
okay, we have the first item complete, the chairman's roll call. Just a reminder to limit side conversations because the cameras and will follow you if you're making noise or talking, and the other audio recording devices are in the ceiling. So make sure you speak loudly and clearly. What's that? Cell phones, silence them, or you need assistance, maybe ask someone younger next to you or more technologically savvy to assist.
You starting up a little early.
He's the one.
I'm getting that. A little too early.
He got me riled up, Jimmy.
Yeah, I see that.
I needed this. Okay. So the housekeeping items are done. I better make sure mine's,
Yes. It's gonna be the ideal thing to do.
we have item number 2, 2026 department review, but Kyle, before we started, you did have an item to talk about where we had asked last meetings what the 27th payroll, how that will impact the budget. Generally, there are 26 payrolls. However, every so many years, we do have a 27th, right? Every 10 years or so.
That is correct. All right, as a result of looking at our payroll that we generated in the first payroll of February, it was approximately $2.4 million with regards to gross wages, and then taking into account Medicare and then our pension contribution on behalf of that as a benefit for all employees. That number is the low because we have not, and we're in the process of building in the retro payment for YPA and patrol. So I'll be able to actually run an update of this in March once we get that into the budget. Remember, this 27th payroll will be in December of 2026. So we won't have the summer help included in it. That's why I ran this particular payroll in February. It'll be very similar next December. However, when I run it again in March, we should have the language in our software system for what the CBA outlined for a wage increase for YPA and YPRO. So I just wanted to give you an update on that amount for the request of the body as a whole.
Okay. Does anyone have any additional questions on the information Kyle provided about the 27th payroll?
Why do you say it's going to be so much different though? Chair, it's going to be higher because as of right now, the only contracts that we do not have included in the current payroll is the contract for YPA and YPRO. YPRO, the retro, YPA, the entire contract. Council approved it last Wednesday. We're building it into the system now and it's effective on February 21. So February 21 was the ending payroll. The 22nd was the first of the new payroll. After the contract was executed, that's when the increase will be for 2026 going forward. I don't have any of that built into the payroll system as of right now. So the document that I'm using as my benchmark is as of the 2025 payroll for police.
Just a follow-up.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
So that means that you're gonna come back to us for an approval?
No, through the chair, there is no approval in this. I'm informing you of what the extra payroll is going to cost the 2026 budget.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no other questions, we could move to the street department budget. And Kyle, if you want to give us the overview initially.
Yeah, we're gonna first start, if that's okay, with traffic, the smaller of the two. So the first one you might have in front of you is the large one, which is streets, but we're gonna move to traffic. So as you are aware, Mike Drummond, under this new administration, has been promoted to be in charge of building and grounds. Prior to the promotion, Mike was the sign and signal superintendent. As you can see, he is going to handle both of those responsibilities. And so within this budget, we are not filling that position at this moment. If something arises and the administration feels it's necessary, we'll come back to council. But right now, the budget is being built with that position being open and Mike addressing it in the capacity of as the Building and Grounds Commissioner. So at the moment, we have 3 linesmen, and you can see that that is their current salary. If you look below, I have built in what the special pay, what the additional cost is going to be in that contract. And that is reflected when you turn the page and you can see the breakdown. It's at 165,906. That is the cost in addition to the on-call and out of rank for traffic wages in 2026. And you can see that even though it's a decrease because we do not have the supervisor position in that in this budget. Overall, this budget is showing a decline of year over year of about $52,000. The bulk of that is, like I said, is the result of the savings on the wages, pension, and the medical insurance. The actual operating budget year over year is an increase of $2,500. That is your traffic sign and signal department. Do you have any questions?
I have a. one of the-
Chuck, go ahead.
The labor.
We already talked about it, so that happened.
Okay.
All right.
So where is the, on the, which budget, since we don't have, we're saving that? Mike's on a different, he's on street department then? Or
No,
building?
Mike is in building and grounds as
Okay.
the commissioner.
Okay, so that's where he
Yes.
shows up now.
Correct.
All right.
All right. So that's a very small component of street. Being that there's no questions, I'll move on to the larger department, street department.
Yeah, I got a question, but it's. I think I already know the answer. So we got another department head doing dual. So the sign and signal shop is, I get what Jonathan was talking about the other day with chief of staff and his old position. But the sign and signal shop is a little busier, so we don't have any concerns about being able to do both jobs. Is that a normal thing? Is this something new for us? Supervising both departments or?
I don't, through the chair, I don't foresee it as a problem right now. See how long it goes. Right now, Mike's able to handle both. I've been helping him out a lot as well with both departments.
You need help though.
Yeah. Who's helping you?
And through the chair, we do have that position open within engineering that we're going to try to fill it.
So I do have some help coming. We did hire someone in December of last year. It's usually helpful. And I've been doing it for so long that we do have to plan for the future though. And I have a great staff around me, to be honest, the best I've ever had.
I do remember, Chuck, one time you said, the great thing about City Hall is when you get a new job, you get the new one, you get to keep the old one too.
A
So.
bonus.
In this situation, we I get the perk being saving money and everything. I'm just not real comfortable with not having a supervisor and sign and signal. I mean, I know we do kind of, but something to try to move faster.
Through the chair, I can assure you. Well, first of all, we have a backup plan that we can implement fairly quickly if we need to do so. If something happens that requires it, but right now I don't foresee any problems with the way this is going. I think Mike has a lot of help around him. He's got a good crew down there. I have a great administrative crew up in Public Works. At some point, we can't go on like this forever. We will have to fill some positions, but I think we can go through most of this year.
Okay. Pat?
Your chair, Jonathan, is that position testable? Is that a point?
Sign signal is a classified positions tested.
No, I mean, we're open to explore new things and try consolidation. We advocate for that in other positions. So, I mean, see how it goes. If you can't do it or manage it, then.
Through the chair, I don't think we foresee this as a permanent
Okay.
situation. Just let's leave it at that, I guess.
Okay. Any other questions from Councilman Hughes?
We talked about the employees, the amount that they have completely. Is there vacancies in that rank?
Through the chair, you mean in traffic? Are you talking,
Yeah.
we're still on traffic? There's plenty of vacancies in traffic.
How are we addressing that with the budget though?
We haven't ever had a full staff down in
So
traffic.
there's no, the salary code is not being filled. Those positions are on the salary code.
No, this is very common within just about all departments. We don't have, I have probably 10 vacant positions in engineering, and this isn't, no offense, but like in YPD, they fill pretty much everything, right? Like when you were the chief.
The fire department does that.
Right, so I know. Well, so when we can, in police department, I think they're also filled as much as we can. So I guess we have a lot of vacant positions. Some are just straight up outdated, and some we could just get by without. That's why we elected to do 3 linemen. We've always only had 2 linemen. We did 3 linemen so that we don't have to pay out of rank pay. We just work them down to put signs up or assist with traffic paint application in the summer.
Thank you, Chuck. You know I'm a fan.
Right. Well, we will, there's no more questions on this one. We can move to, what's the next one?
We're going to address street department.
Street, okay.
To the chair,
Go ahead, Kyle.
the last administration had come to council and asked if we could increase the number of workers at the street department, because the street department has been tasked with combination of snow removal and mowing our lots without without buildings on them. The council was supportive of that. And you see that in 2026, we now have a department of 37, which is 3 more than where we started 2025. As a result of that, the department is able to, during snowstorms, transition people in and out of trucks so that we're not putting drivers at risk of having to be out there on the road. So we're asking council to support, and again, this is the request for the continuation of meeting 37 employees down there at the street department. Here is the breakdown. And we have built in the actual 27th payroll, which when you turn the page, you're going to see that that is requiring an addition over last year's budget because we had to phase in those employees. It is $281,000 more than it was the year before, what we budgeted. This is having the full workforce working for the full calendar year. Overall, with the 27th payroll and the addition to insurance, it's going to cost the city another $622,000 versus last year's budget, just to meet the payroll and benefits for the street department. Operationally, we're nearly asking for the exact $920K. We spent $839,000, but was what we budgeted $924 last year. So we actually spent less than what we budgeted. That's why the budget is slightly lower. When you get down to the infrastructure and to equipment, you can see the sizable increase. You want to turn the pages so that we can talk about what the street department is requesting. The component that was in the building was actually us finishing our final payment for the restoration of the wall and roof that was started in 2025. In the department inadvertently only made a PO for the first invoice, not the second installment. So we made that second installment for the completion of that in 2026. That's why you see it in the budget for 154K. Chuck, you want to address what they actually did at the facility so that
Go ahead, Chuck.
Through the chair, the south wall of the maintenance building has slowly been failing over last 10 years or so.
Lack of maintenance.
Through the chair, now that just the maintenance building. Okay. So what happens a lot of times with the brick is the brick ties rust away, then water gets behind there, and then the steel rusts on the brick ties, so it starts to fail. So basically what we did was we took down most of the wall, rebuilt some of the wall with CMUs, concrete masonry units, and then redid the wall with metal siding. So it is physically complete now.
Okay.
so that 154 actually has already been expended. It was part of the cost associated with that work. If you look back to the 2025 expense of 160, combination of those two amounts is what the cost to actually address that problem.
Where was that on here?
If you look at the actual expenses for 2025 under infrastructure, that 160,630 is what we paid in 2025, and the PO should have been for the total. But instead, we paid the remaining 153 something in January of this year for that work.
Okay.
And that's why it's in the budget. And that is one-time expense and it's already incurred. I'm going to let Mike discuss the $1.1 million that we're asking for in equipment. I'll let him go through that, explaining why the request is for these items, and any fee or any questions by council would best be addressed by Mike, because this is his department.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, through the chair, you'll start in order here with the dump truck net insert. These are for our smaller dump trucks for around town. You also be driven by one CDL driver down there.
You said,
We'll buy two of those.
So we're on the second page.
Yes, you're on the second page, what has the breakdown.
And
it shows-
5205 under equipment.
Correct. This is, turn the page one more time, Jimmy. I think it's a two-sided report.
Yeah.
There it is, right down here. This is what we're talking about, all of this.
Okay, good. Everyone find the spot we're at.
Kind of. These are just inserts for the beds. They're not obviously the bed or the truck itself.
Okay. And what's the advantage of doing this?
Put the smaller truck, to load the smaller trucks with salt.
Okay.
Well, the plow on it and the salt. Instead of just, the plow on the front.
Okay.
Basically turns a pickup truck into a dump bed.
So we can do the smaller areas.
I'm sorry, not a dump bed, but a salt box.
Salt box.
It's a dump bed for salt on the back, yep. Second one is the hot box. That'll allow us to do permanent patch, and even in the winter time, instead of putting this cold patch.
Okay.
To the chair, we have one of those right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So like, go ahead.
This would be a second one, an additional one.
Okay. Is it up and running currently? Are we out patching with
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yes.
I'll give you a list after the meeting.
Okay.
Through the chair, the asphalt recycler is a machine. When we do our resurfacing program, we require the contractor to return a certain amount of the grindings from the road. And then we're able to, this would be able to kind of reuse them and apply them a little bit more efficiently to the roadway. So because of the heating process.
We make our own.
Yes, say that again. I think none of.
So through the chair, the asphalt grindings is basically just ground up asphalt.
Right.
And it does make a very good base. However, when you heat it, that asphalt cement breaks down and like it readheses all the aggregate as you heat it. So it just makes it a little more stable.
So we would use that in what process?
We would use it either with larger patching, some type of, if you wanted to use it as a base material, if like then put asphalt over the top of it, that type of stuff.
Bigger hole.
Yes.
Do we have somewhere to store that?
Yes. Down
In the garage.
Okay. All right.
The next one is replace the fuel pumps out front of the street department there. There's 4 of them.
Okay.
Next one is one F-550 crew cab dump truck.
That's a big, through the chair.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
What's the purpose?
The truck,
The 550, yeah.
well, the 550 in the winter, it'll plow snow. In the summer, it'll be out, tree removal and everything else. It's pretty much a on the road year-round truck.
In
Go ahead, Jimmy.
in 20, we had a display of all these trucks and these plows and whatnot. It was a impressive thing down there. It seems like that was no longer, or whatever the case would be. When was the last time we purchased more than one truck, at one time? And I believe it's 2021, maybe something in that line.
I think it was later than that, wasn't it, Kyle?
Through the chair, we actually got 2 smaller ones, not the F-550s or F-250s.
Yeah,
When we bought them to plow,
about 4 of them.
yeah, we bought 4 because we can't plow between Federal with the big plow trucks.
All right, but the 550 is a big truck.
Yes, that is bigger than what we purchased.
Through the chair, it's not a normal.
It's not a
truck.
big salt truck. It's a pickup truck.
With a big
The
one.
dump bed and 4 doors. It's
Through the chair, it's a 550 chassis. That would most likely have a small dump bed on the back of it, but it's not what you're thinking of with the auger and the giant plow that does all the city streets. Those are at least 5-ton dumps.
yeah, that's coming next.
Sure, so basically it's a utility vehicle truck. You're gonna be driving it all the time.
Yep.
Using it for
Every day
various street
Not
department
in-
things.
After they plow the snow, they'll load it with the hot patch and go out and patch the potholes out of it.
All right, so next is salt truck.
Next is a salt truck, yes, sir.
Amber had a finger out.
Amber?
Through the share, with the F-550 crew truck is, does that have the ability to have like a insert in it to put the salt in it?
No, this is, these dump beds we're buying go in a pickup truck, not an F-550. They go in an F-250.
Will this have the utility
Smaller.
for the salt she's asking?
This one it'll haul salt, yes. It can definitely haul salt. It's not the smaller dump bed inserts we're buying for the smaller trucks. It's 2 different things. 2 different size bed of a truck.
Through the chair, I'm not sure that we are prepared to do that. I mean, I don't typically, the salt eats away the beds. That's why we get aluminum beds in the salt trucks. The accessories that we put inside of a pickup truck, you see them all over with maybe landscape contractors.
Right.
Those are aluminum, so the salt doesn't have any effect on them. It's unlikely that we would be putting salt on the back of a steel bedded truck. But at the same time, the salt trucks with the aluminum beds can't take the abuse of demolition or roadway excavation of rocks and everything hitting the bed. So we use steel beds for that. So it's not, unfortunately, they're not necessarily mutually exclusive, I guess. They're kind of, not want to say special use, but we wouldn't put salt often in a steel bed. Then you would need an auger. So I would say that this would most likely be for hot patch, cold patch, so forth.
Makes sense.
Through the chair, how many do we have, those 550s? And how many do we need? I can get.
Did you guys hear that, Mike? He was asking how many of the 550s we have.
I want to say 4 to 5. Don't quote me on that, though, but I believe it's 4 to 5.
Amber?
Could you possibly email an updated list of the vehicles that you have in total prior to these reviews?
Councilman, through the chair, are you
Yes.
asking for a complete inventory of vehicles at the street department?
Yeah, just send the whole complete list.
And the last one is the brush incinerator.
Through the chair. Chuck, can you explain what's happened with us dumping, why this is critical? Because of the fact that the EPA mandated that we can't use that site any longer.
So through the chair, yes. The site that we generate a lot of brush and wood debris especially from storms between the park department, street department, wherever. The EPA has come down on the list at the existing site we're using. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly where it is. I think it's on the east side. So in order to try to save space and come up with a different alternative, the idea of an incinerator for the brush it's been discussed, and we want to implement it.
So what do normal cities do with their brush? Just pile it somewhere until they get yelled at?
Through the chair, some communities choose to try to break it down through a combination of one, sawing it and giving away firewood, other chipping it. Problem with chipping it is it's not treated, and when you chip it, you also need to put it in a dump area.
Right.
The idea is we're hopeful that we have a concrete pad that is at the street department currently. We're going to verify if this is going to sit completely on top of it. This is going to be electric, not diesel or gas.
Right.
And the hope is that we're going to be able to run this over the course of the entire year, bringing anytime we have debris from storms, winter storms, spring storms, street department, park department, will be able to actually incinerate this. And it's my understanding that it does not even create a smoke trail
Correct.
because of the way it is done under pressure. But I'll let the
Go ahead, Mike
professionals talk.
or
about it.
Chuck.
Through the chair, just like this week, we're having a problem we have YNDC doing some work for the city cleanups, and we just have nowhere to put this stuff anymore. And we're not allowed to dump out there no more. The EPA has shut us down. It's locked up. We can't put anything out there. We just have nowhere to put anything.
So, I mean, typically, how does this work? Is there environmental compliance concerns running an incinerator? I know it's called incinerator, but it doesn't produce emissions that need to be monitored or?
No.
Through the chair, I don't believe so. It's all a self-contained unit. It's not I don't know that it's an incinerator from the sense of like our wastewater incinerators or anything like that, or trash incinerator or anything, but
Could it power a steam plant?
no tires.
I could, everyone was ready. I can just feel it. I can feel the heat on that. Amber, did you?
Yeah, Mike, what's the capacity that this can hold? How large is this? How large are we
Can you
talking?
describe it?
See, I don't know that answer.
It's through the chair. I mean, we have an image of it
Yes.
when we can
Yeah, I don't
probably
have
share.
that with me.
We don't
Jared
have
had
that.
Yeah, we would love this sales rep to come and give us
It's
a
probably the
demo of that.
size of this length of this table. It's huge.
Through the chair, but I think what we'll do is send the information with the list of the equipment.
Thank you.
I would, go ahead, Councilman Hughes.
Obviously, outside the city, I mean, other people's come in, they cut down, they cut up trees, and we contract out for them. Would they be able to utilize this or no?
Through the chair, I don't think we would entertain that. I don't think we would. I don't think that would be a good
Christmas
idea.
tree from the roof of my wagon here.
I'm wondering why.
Through the chair, I think just from a liability standpoint, first of all, but then excessive wear and tear on the machine, we have to come up with some avenue to charge them. That money would most likely not go back into the equipment fund. So then next thing you know, our machine's going to be broke down and we won't have money for another one.
I think something has to be in play here because we have a lot of dead trees that we make responsibility, even the ones on the tree lawn, which is a double strip, that actually city-owned property. But we, through what you're telling us, to previous ordinance, put that on the homeowner. So they get it cut down, but what do they do with it besides dump it someplace and block up the road? Then you take it.
Through the chair, if you're referring to homeowners, not commercial landscapers, is that?
they hired commercial landscapers to cut the
But-
trees down.
Yeah, so through the chair, the landscapers are, most likely, they do so much volume that they're doing trees every day. They have other arrangements for, disposing of their wood, whether they chip it and then they dispose of the chips at a place, at a landscape recycling center, or 99% of them split the logs up and sell the firewood. They don't chip all their wood, only the brush. So I don't think there would be a big need for it. I think that the homeowners, they could technically put it out in their trash if they wanted to. They could put the small amounts of brush on their trash. If they're cutting an entire tree down, they should probably be hiring a tree company which would be able to handle the brush on their own. They're not going to want to get involved in this.
Okay.
Just not to argue, and you don't have to explain anymore. I disagree.
Okay.
Amber,
Thank you. Through the chair. When you send the photo of this brush incinerator, can you also send some other information with it as far as like the lifeline, the length of life on these brush incinerators? Possibly how much equipment different parts that we may have to buy in the future. You know, what do we know about this? Like, get some reviews on it. Who's used it before, maybe the same product, what kind of issues that we're facing, because if we start getting hit with repairs that are very expensive, I'd like to kind of be prepared for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you.
Moving on to the last item in the budget, as you can see in the, when you look at the bottom, you can see, we have a sweeper slag dump fee that we're required to pay based on amount of volume that the sweepers collect.
Okay.
And we budget that each year. And depending upon how much volume is collected, that is our line item that we pay for those dumpings that are required to go to a special place.
Right. Councilman Oliver.
To the chair, then. I don't know, you might not know, so Chuck, the debris that's cleaned up from the street sweeper, that couldn't be used also as additional aggregate or whatever for the hot fill?
Consider waste.
Yeah, I know.
Just like that.
Through the chair, it's solid waste. The sweeper,
Because it's mixed, you can't determine what's rock
no,
versus it's just considered.
there's various items in there. It's not just.
Okay.
Great.
Councilman Hughes.
Anything with the leaves, fall leaves, is there anything in your budget for that?
Through the chair, no, that is under the health department. I'm under litter control.
Is there all litters on the trash on the side of the road? We have no vehicles to recycle that. You know, like people going down the road, they throw it. You're gonna need one of the main corridors. There's a buffer full of trash. We don't make no effort to get that up as a, if we do tell.
Through the chair, we have litter control does that. They go out and they pick up the litter and they dump it at the street department in our dumpster and then we dispose of it.
What do they use to get it? Pick it up.
It's trucks, they have dump trucks,
And they got,
litter
Or
control.
street sweepers.
But no, who's?
So he's talking about piles of.
I'm just
big
talking
stuff.
about general litter,
Dumping.
you know, on the side of the road, McCartney Road, Oak Street Extension, Early Road. We have litter that people just go down the street and they throw it over out their car and it builds up over time and over time, no one's picking up. I support trying to buy equipment, whether it's a big vacuum that you're sucking it up or something you're reaching off the road. I like your brush hog thing that goes off to the side of the road. That's something we bought just recently. We just come from, a few years ago, we had a demonstration from a guy down in the police garage with some equipment showing us how they cleaning up sidewalks, cleaning up some of the trash off the side of the road. We never.
Okay, you're referring to casual littering, not dumping, not illegal dumping. But it's all legal dumping, but.
You want to just make a list of all your words and I would just agree to them. I get that, Chuck. But as we're speaking about, yes, I'm referring to the litter on the side of the road, whatever name you want to give it.
Thank you, Councilman Hughes. Perhaps we could have that as in a committee meeting to talk about the.
And
the
you
litter.
with these committee meetings and we don't get it, they never be signed. We never have a committee to be discussing these stuff that you're reflecting things too.
We'll get that scheduled.
You gotta call it.
Okay.
Are you saying something?
No, I was talking to Kyle.
I agree. We could do better at scheduling those. Thank you.
Okay. I think from what I can gather, is it possible to create another, I don't know, arm within the health department with Bob Burke to maybe attach it to like EAG and do a litter? Litter is a big problem, some type of litter cleanup
I
within that.
don't even know if we're getting off topic
Right.
here.
We are.
Yeah.
Talking about budget.
Talking about adding to the budget.
Well, I've just made a list so we don't forget. So we're gonna
I'm
talk
saying
about
about
litter.
time the health department.
Okay.
Through the chair, let me just address them. So last year, when we passed the budget for litter, we included equipment money that is now being funded in the general, fund, because remember, no longer is CDA contributing towards so it's going to be the county and the city. Bob is purchasing a new truck that will be used by the department along with CCA, who goes out. We have two contracts. They pick up downtown garbage and they pick up garbage around the community. You have to appreciate Youngstown's footprint is massive.
Yeah.
We do not have the means to cover wages and benefits to have people just collecting garbage. We try to do our best in the areas. That's why some of that ARP money that was being used by YNDC for some of the corridor cleanup. The hope was once they addressed it, that the community itself, through some of the community watch groups, after it was clean, would actually try to then continue that. And it can't be relied on that just the city departments of the street or litter control be that have that role and that role only. There needs to be, participation within some of our neighborhoods to help out. But the hope was when you guys earmarked some of your ARP for those corridor cleanups, that was going to happen. And we're hopeful that that is going to happen down the road.
I did make a note. I'm gonna give it to our clerk to get these scheduled. But I will say an observation is when you said that, over 10 years ago, previous litter control program operators used to come to all the block watch meetings. And there was a regular circuit. There was a lot more community engagement and education on that. So I think that's maybe something we need to talk about, is getting out in the community to talk about litter. That's just something I think we got away from probably after everyone saw that presentation. Jennifer Jones has been a number of years, but those presentations were everywhere. So
Okay.
that may be something we need to look at.
Okay, so I just want to finish with regards to street. The contributions to, in essence, achieve the request to meet all of the capital needs is this year over last year, the change in the assistance going into the street department is going to be an additional $1.3 million. That 1.3 is covering the additional need for equipment, the additional need for wages, because now we have a larger workforce, and for the costs associated with the 27th payroll and the increase in insurance. That is why we are seeing such a significant year-over-year increase. I just wanted to make you aware of that, because as we start talking about the larger departments going forward, we are now making those transfers from the general fund, and I want you to appreciate what kind of impact that's going to have on the surplus.
Councilman Hughes?
This probably have nothing to do with nothing, but I think as a general rule, if you're gonna add new equipment, you're gonna increase the budget for whatever the case would be, it should go to a committee before it gets to the budget time, And that's what I'm just thinking, because we get shortchanged when you surprise us with these additional parts, additional equipment. And all during the year, we complaining about what we want to see more of, and then we get no opportunity to discuss it.
Through the chair,
Kyle?
we can't purchase any of this unless council gives us the authority to expend those funds. Yes, it's in a budget. It's just a line item. We have to come back to you as a body and ask for you to spend that money. So we are not circumventing your authority. We're just asking on a paper document, can we get this? When we actually go to expend it, you have to give us that authority. So outside of something under 25K, which I don't believe there's anything in that line item under equipment, it can't be purchased without your approval.
All right, anything else on, street that was in front of us? Adam?
Real quick, an example from last year is the police vehicles. Those were approved in the budget and then we had to come multiple times to council and we only purchased them when council approved it.
That example is partially true, and the other part that's not in there, it was no discussion, you just tried to add more to it, you know, and we brought it to the committee and we kept it in committee so we could discuss it. Now, the stuff that was approved in was not those cars that had nothing to do with the budget. That was in the middle of April, May, or June, or something like that, and they just kept bringing more and they wanted more. We locked them up in committee and we discussed them till almost the end of the year last year. That's what it was. It was never in the budget.
I think just
Part of it.
if I can take Councilman Hughes' sentiments, more discussion prior to we seeing it there, I think would be appreciated. That's all. I think that's all that.
Through the chair, I mean, this is the budget process. This is the first time department heads are getting the chance to get in front of you. That's why there's a beginning and then there's a process of asking you to give us the authority to actually purchase things. I think that's it for street, unless there's any more questions on street.
Councilman Hughes.
Remember that $2 million for the fire truck, right?
Through the chair, that's gonna be in your next budget
Yeah,
line.
but we did have, he's saying it came first time. That wasn't the first time. No.
Through the chair, I'm not sure I understand what you mean by
Uh,
first
you-
time.
I didn't understand what you were talking about. This was the first time they had a chance to bring this to us.
Through the chair. Council has already acted in approving the acquisition of fire trucks last year in the budget, by council for this budget cycle. This budget cycle has those 2 trucks in the budget. We went through that process. So in essence, we actually spoke to you in advance.
And that's all I was trying to say. You did do that with the fire truck.
We do that with everything
No.
through the chair. Nothing can be purchased in excess of 25K without your authority.
We know that.
So then if you understand that, then there's no questioning that we can't do something behind.
I think
your
it's
back.
just communicating sooner. We know we're gonna make these purchases. A plant, if somebody wanted an incinerator, the first time we heard about an incinerator was today. If someone would have told about an incinerator back in September, it might have been easier to digest. Just having conversations, having better communication is all the takeaway there, nothing more.
Through the chair, that's excellent. But remember last
We
fall.
don't need any more.
No, let us finish.
No, we don't.
Okay.
We don't.
Then last fall, when the state comes in and says, you have no place to dump, what do?
We're not
We
saying,
as
we're not,
administration have to
we're
address
not
that.
saying, no one's saying that. We're just saying, when we can,
Stay focused.
sooner communication is better. Sometimes it doesn't get to us and it happens there and it doesn't get to this body. So maybe we should ask for regular committee reports at the council meeting from department heads and rotate there. So we can be kept in the loop better
Through the chair,
on
we
stuff
will
like
do
that.
If you'd like that.
Just, that's all. I don't think there was anyone trying to be unreasonable or refusing, I think. But we know. So let's move on.
Okay, ready to start addressing fire?
We good? All right. Put that fire out and start a new one.
Yes, that wasn't too bad.
Okay, make a note here with the committee meetings that Jimmy gave me approved one of my jokes.
That wasn't too bad.
Got one. He's tough.
The documents in front of you show the head count as of where we stand within the budget process. We are planning to, in this budget for 120 employees at the fire department that are part of suppression and non-suppression. When you look below, you're going to see that we have also, in addition to the suppression, non-suppression, an executive assistant, and then we have the mechanic. That is the breakdown of payroll by the number of positions and the impact of that 27th week is built into the payroll on top of the on-call and out of rank. And you'll see that reflected when you look to the uniform line item on fire for $8,353,138,000. That is year over year versus the budget, $275K more. That is a result of one having a full workforce in addition to the 27 payroll on top of the wages that were awarded under the CBA. That year over year increase for total payroll, in addition to the medical insurance, is 1.4 million for the fire department. When we look at uniform operating expenses, year over year, we spent last year 373,000. We're coming to the table asking for roughly 389K, which is a reduction versus last year's actual operating requests. Where we are making that difference up is going to be in our equipment line item. We're going to turn the page. I'm going to let the chief discuss what is in that equipment and then also what we have in the miscellaneous expense. We'll hand that over with regards to uniform.
Go ahead, chief.
Through the chair. There is technical rescue equipment that we are purchasing, would like to purchase, new turnout gear. That the gear expires every 10 years. And 2 fire trucks that are replacing 2 trucks that are over 27 years old.
Is that in line with the normal replacement cycle? Aren't we always replacing a truck? It seems like we're always paying for one. Kyle.
To the chair, when we had funds coming from CDA, we were typically buying a truck over a 10-year payment cycle. We typically, in the past, bought one truck, new truck every 10 years. We did step out of that cycle and tried to buy a pumper a few years back. And we did that with, I believe, a 2-year lease payment. Unfortunately, a number of our trucks, because they are depreciated out, meaning that they no longer are on our, as an asset being depreciated, the insurance company is not going to be providing full replacement because they don't have an existing value. So part of what is speeding up this process of trying to replace our trucks is buying them with our current surplus funds. And that's why the administration prior to this administration came to you and requested that council approve the purchase of 2. These 2 will get delivery roughly end of April.
First week of April.
First week of April. The hope is once we move into the fall of this calendar year and we look at 1, how this budget was passed, 2, how we are spending, the hope is we may be coming back to you again and asking for us to put it in order for another pumper that would then be delivered in spring of 2027. That request is just being discussed. However, it'll all be dependent upon how our operating budget is looking and how our spending levels remain for the remainder, throughout the rest of the calendar year. But council did give us that authority last year. It's budgeted in the current calendar year and we'll take delivery in the next month.
Councilman Oliver.
So this is in line with what you presented to us last year, right? And how the company came in and we would start replacing the trucks.
No. That was lease. And we need to be clear on that,
Through the chair, they came in and offered 2 proposals that we could lease the trucks or we could purchase the trucks. They also discussed that if we wanted trucks that were going to be put together the way that we have our current inventory, that was going to take longer. So in essence, we are buying 2 trucks that come off the line, and then we're going to, upon taking delivery, going to learn how to use those trucks because they differ from some of the trucks we currently have. The hope is that these new trucks, and I'll let the chief, because I'm not well versed in this, but the hope is that the department likes these because if they do, it is easier to actually get these trucks on an annual basis because they're not being built to spec, they're being built to be sold. And that's why this opportunity presented itself in the fall of last year, that we could order two and we would be able to take delivery in spring of this calendar year. And part of what drove that too is the fact that our inventory is so aged that they're breaking down a lot and it's costing us a lot to repair them.
We're done with the conversation. I just wanted to make sure this was the process we did.
Pat? Sure, thank you. So I guess I could go past you to the chief. Chief, so we have the new truck we bought last year, correct? That's delivered and in use.
Yes, sir.
So you're asking for two more?
Through the chair, yes.
Okay, and then
We already ordered.
like my constituents, we had last year, we got a guy come in and say, well, you order it now, it was gonna take a year. If you hold off another month, it's gonna be 2 years. Are we gonna be putting under the gun like that again? From these people and then, am I hearing it right? We're just gonna try them out and then we can give them back or?
No, we're doing a different path of ordering. If you like to order them kind of
Okay,
off the lot.
that's what
We
I
used to
just wanted to make
customize and now we're going to the fire truck store now.
Stock.
Yeah.
Very
Is that, chief, is that a good something?
Through the chair, yes, that is, we typically have customized our vehicles, but they're stock. So we don't get to select compartments or, there are certain things you can pick.
Is there a cost savings doing it this way?
Yes, sir, and time frame. If you customize a truck, you're looking at least 2 years.
Wow, okay.
And through the chair, I have a list of all of the current trucks and the years.
Can we see it? Because that's what, the next thing we're gonna ask for. Wow.
Thank you.
I was.
I'm gonna wait 2 years for at least to come with the vehicle. So can you make sure you get that to us?
Do they have a police car store?
Right.
So guess what, Adam?
Chair.
While are we doing it? Can I just make?
have it.
Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy.
Law department.
What we was told when we had the representative come out for leasing vehicles was that this is what everybody was doing. They was leasing these trucks and they named the departments and up around Cleveland and back and forth, comparable car apartments. We seemed to have a problem with money at the time and thought leasing was the best deal, even though it wasn't exactly spoken like that. But that's the concern. Then fast forward less than 30 days, we was asked to buy the truck, $2 million on the table, but we went from that, we went to here. Now I'm all for it because you seem to be for it. So we call it what it is, but clarity about how the process gets to where it goes is my concern. We had 2 meetings, committee meetings about it, specially made particularly for the safety committee. And that's the whole thing. I'm not against you having new trucks or proper equipment. So,
Okay. Thank you, Councilman.
yeah, I have a question. If we can go back to the employees, the first page.
Sure. Go ahead, Councilman Hughes.
The 120 employee positions you have there. And I see these, what was the second spot that you had, battalion chiefs? Is that an increase in battalion chiefs? That's 6 or no?
No, sir.
That's what we have right now.
Through the chair, that's 2 per turn. Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chief.
Through the chair, the starred are the ones that will be moved. Once we obtain these 2 new trucks, those trucks will then we will just get rid of them.
Do we sell them or we trade them in or
Auction.
auction? Okay. All right. Thank you. This was what we would have asked for, so that's good. Kyle, any comments or anything else on that?
With regards to what's in miscellaneous, we chose to move these down and put them in that budget line item just because it's easier to keep outside of equipment. There is some additional code books and then some miscellaneous items that are going to be used for the SWAT support fire team. And that's why those are budgeted in those line items. If there's any questions with regards to that, I think they were small items, but I just identified them because we put them in under miscellaneous.
Chief, and just for our, just to revisit, I know what the makeup between the firefighters, the lieutenants, the captains, that distribution, is that every shift they need one, every group has each one of those, or how does that breakdown work on this staffing?
Okay, through the
Did that
chair,
make sense?
just so I make sure I understand what you're
Yeah.
asking. We have one captain for every truck, a lieutenant for every truck, and then a firefighter.
Okay.
We have two assigned, but one, you know.
It's usually 3 per truck, and
Per truck,
they
yes,
all
sir.
have one of those positions. That's
Yes.
why the numbers are there that they have. They're all
Correct.
doing a different job.
Correct. And if one is off, then we rotate,
Okay.
and that's where you get your out of rank. They step up into more responsibility.
Thank you for the clarification, because sometimes, lieutenant and versus police versus fire are different. The way those are staffed, they're not all doing the same things like that. So, Councilman Hughes, Councilman Oliver, sorry.
Well, you look like me, maybe?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you wish. Wake up in the morning and says, oh, not yet.
Chief, this is a question I tried to ask in the safety committee, but it was under negotiations or something, so I couldn't ask it. Since I've been on council, 2016, there's always been a report or an analysis or something that's been done that always says we can't afford both police and fire. So every year, it's always been a study that says somehow you need to reduce your firefighters. And then there's something that says we need to maintain a certain number of firefighters. So we always try to get to a certain number. But then there's some expert that comes in and says we need to drop our numbers. So where are we at in that? Because it's something that comes up every year. It's always as if the police and fire department are too big for the city to actually support. So do you have any thoughts on that, or how are you going to address that situation? I think it's one of the biggest reasons we run into the whole overtime, and you have the calling off situation, all these different things. But overall, it always seemed to come back to a consensus of the city can't afford the safety forces. So is that still the case? Has something changed? We don't want to talk about that here.
Trust this.
We still don't have the results yet from the audit that we ordered, right? Adam,
Have
go
you
ahead.
seen them?
I would just, you may tread lightly in answering this question. I don't. One, this can be, this is a hairy subject to talk about.
The other administration did.
That's all I want to say.
This is how we got into it.
Through the chair, they're looking to schedule a meeting the second week of March to discuss their current status.
Well, was this more appropriate with attorney-client in a executive session? Adam, is that how you would prefer that these questions be addressed?
Through the chair, yes. I mean, I've only been at the city less than you have, Julius, and this was said in a council meeting about this, and they took it a certain way, and we were in Columbus 6 months later, so.
Okay, fair. I know. I mean, sometimes each law director wants to, sometimes I'm surprised that the ones that they're willing to talk about. So, if the legal advice here is to discuss these labor matters and, with legal, then that's.
I just want to know how we gonna close the gap. So if we can think on that and come back with a solution or something, because I don't want to. We either got to start making a lot more money or.
When are we expected with the results back from the audit?
We have two, we already currently have one result, which was done last year, which was handed out to us by the study that was finished. As the chief just said, the auditors are asking for a meeting the first or second week of March with police and fire and the administration They're hopeful to have their study wrapped up for a performance audit by beginning of summer.
Okay. Councilman Hughes.
This 120, is that your complete staff? You have no missing chairs with that 120 personnel staff?
Through the chair, no, that's everyone. That's all positions for the fire department.
Anything else?
Other than garage, we do have, I wanted to point out that we have some costs associated with responsibilities that should have occurred in last year's budget. Unfortunately, documentation did not make it to the finance department under the old administration. So those costs need to be covered in calendar 2026, and wanted to make sure that the fire department's budget wasn't impacted with those prior year expenses that are going to incur in 2026. So that's why you see that those 3 repairs by Falls Way for engine 2715 highlighted in operating services in the garage.
Okay.
All right. So overall, year over year, the support by the general fund in 2026 over 2025 is going to be an additional $3.6 million that is coming out of the general fund to support this budget request. What is driving this budget request amount is, of course, the purchase of the 2 vehicles, 27 payroll, the increase in insurance, and the fact that in 2025, it is where we achieved under the old administration, bringing up the department to its full capacity of 114 firefighters. Because, I'm sorry, yes, because you exclude the chief and you exclude the non-suppression, which are the inspectors and the arsonists. So we have 114 firefighters, and that is the complement that is associated with having 9 trucks.
Okay. Councilman Kelly.
Through the chair, chief, so obviously Jimmy and I cut our teeth on the police, but when you say you have a battalion chief, captain, lieutenant, firefighter, everybody's working, right? There's nobody not working at the scene.
Through the chair.
Thank you.
All right, any, Councilman Oliver.
Adam, can I get a list of questions I'm not supposed to ask? Because I don't have that filter or anything.
I'll just raise my hand.
Favorites. Okay. Well, that completes fire. If there's no questions regarding that, and we've deferred additional labor-related questions to the law department. That would bring us to the 3rd item, which would be the selection of the 6th Ward council vacancy. Anyone who's done with budgets, feel free to.
Okay, if I could just ask one more
Oh, hold on a second.
before you go to there, and then, I'm still on your staff, it's back and forth. So that just to get some clarity here is that I've had my 6 and 12s closed down because of lack of staff or something like that. If there's some reason, is you full of staff now, you're saying this is what you have. Am I going to be seeing closed fire, a sign on the outside of my fire station that you're closed for the day? Or it's going to be the same thing?
Chief, go ahead.
Through the chair, it is not my intention to close any fire trucks. I have laid the groundwork that I will be enforcing, pattern call-offs, which only happened with a few. We've had a numerous amount of IOD injuries at the beginning of the year. We were working on 9 IOD injuries. All 9 had at some point had surgery. So, but it is being tracked. So I intend to keep every station open.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we can move to item number 3. Do we need a recess? Anyone need to get up or get,
No, I just need a cup.
So we have the, I guess that we need to decide as the 5 of us, how we want to proceed with the 6th ward vacancy. We did receive 4 letters of interest or resumes that the clerk sent out. We had one from Katrina Donald, Cynthia McWilson, Janet Tarpley, and Ryan Gilchrist. So I'm not sure. The goal was to be able to fill this by or make the appointment or the nominations at the next council meeting, which would be on the March 4th. Anyone have any thoughts on just taking nominations, or does anyone want time to review or interview, or Councilman Oliver?
Only 4 people, I don't mind interviewing, there's only 4 of them. The only thing I would want to consider is our process of actually discussing it. Are we going to discuss it openly, or are we going to go into executive session and have a conversation on the interviews on select? I don't know how that works. Or do we have a preference? Do we have something we gotta do, or is
No.
so we can go into executive session and discuss?
Or I believe, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I believe when the local other communities have filled vacancies created for a variety of reasons, they show up at that meeting and there's a nomination and it's done that simply. I've seen a variety of ways it's been done. I mean, that's our only obligation, is that we make the nomination on the floor. It has a majority of 4, and that's how it's approved. Any other process is at our discretion, correct?
Through the chair, that's correct. I would have to look at whether you can interview in an executive session or not. I think discussing the legal process of how we're going to do an appointment is different than interview.
Okay.
So I
interview in executive session. I just wanted to discuss
our discussion on,
okay.
the pros. Yeah, like if that would be appropriate if we did interviews and then the body wanted to meet to deliberate between themselves on and discuss what they were looking for, what's a great fit. We can't make any decisions in executive session, but the group can say, this is what we're looking for. This is what we think the best, fit would be. And then, go from there.
It's all a surprise.
Anyone have any preferences? Pat?
So small, just make a nomination,
Just nomination open.
Off the floor?
I mean, we know resumes alone.
Yeah.
You know. Sure, Jimmy, almost everybody on the list, so.
I really didn't see the list yet.
Should we wait for Samantha to be here to make nominations, or is it okay to do that now?
No, I mean, it would just,
Sorry, is it okay that we make nominations here as council as a whole? Other than on the floor?
no, it would just be the nominations on the floor.
Okay.
We wouldn't. I mean, I suppose, I know the committee could say, if we looked at these, the committee could say that we would recommend such and such for consideration based on this meeting. We are a committee of the whole. We're properly assembled as the body.
Through the chair, I'm just going by off the minutes I read from the 1998 meeting. The nomination was made on the floor of a regular meeting.
Okay.
And we have so little precedent with this that I'm just relying on what happened at that. My understanding is this has happened twice in the last 100 years.
Right.
So I'm just going off those.
Yay for us. Somebody can nominate somebody. I mean, Councilman Hughes, did you have any thoughts?
It's probably the first time in my career somebody called on me. thoughts about what we're doing here today? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or if we, the Councilman Oliver said that maybe we should do an interview process. Councilman Kelly said it's 4 people. Do your own analysis on the candidates, speak them if you want, and then accept the nomination off the floor.
Either way, it makes, I mean, we still have time. I don't think that we should be in a situation where, especially without one of us here and trying to make a decision back and forth. Interviews, I don't think that's a problem. If somebody wants to give us face to face, we can see them. I mean, to me, this whole process, the selection process is going to come down to 4 of us agreeing on one. If it's us, 4 of us agreeing on one person. That's the only way that can go forward, the same person. So it's much information, but I think for the most part, we probably need to be looking who it is and talking among ourselves, as to what they gave us and looking over that, or we listen to them, then have a process after that and talking among ourselves until we can get to 4, because it's going to be a difficult to get 4 of us agreeing on one thing without us doing a lot of due diligence into as much as we can without doing that. So we need to be doing it back and forth, hear what they got to say, get our what their commitments are or not. But the process should be communicating, listening, and then decide, because it's 4 of us that needs to get together. That's the only thing that's really.
Did you want to do that in a regular session or executive session?
I say just do it on the phone. Call me. I'll talk to you. The executive session should be. I mean, you can hear it with executive session, but I mean, just discussing it could be a regular session. I don't have no reason but not to.
So if it was decided to interview them, we would have to do a committee of the whole meeting and have each person.
Through the chair, I'd have to look at that, whether that would fall under an open meetings exception. I'm just thinking of political appointments I've seen, like on, vacant congressional seats or Senate seats. I don't see them interviewing the potential replacements in open meetings.
I sue the chair, but the whole process, when we get a new mayor, they go through the November and December interviewing people, so it won't be a public record. They don't have to do disclosure, and that's always seems to be the most important thing. And I'm sure that happened with you, as well. So you want to flip and switch what you've seen, but what you go through is something different, So why don't we stick to kind of like that, So we understand that confidentiality, you want to share, you want to keep things away, but we just trying to get a little private time with the executives. I mean, is that
Then we would need that. We can say, well, there's only one person.
violating the law or something?
You can't be a straw poller.
I don't have it either way though myself. It's gonna be a public vote no matter how you look at it. Can we do secret ballots?
Okay, well,
Did you want me to do that research? I mean,
I say no. I say what we doing this is having discussions back and forth. Let's see if we can just schedule a meeting, an open meeting with the candidates,
would we want the candidates to just speak at it? I mean, it could be kind of cumbersome. Just a candidate, like maybe we have, I think, do we all submit so many questions? Because we're going to talk about going into hours if 7 people each ask a different question. Do we want to say?
I just say, if you're going to get into questions, it's just going to be who's favorite who. I get that. They can give us 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes and whatever they want to say.
Okay.
And just hear what they got to say, why they should be the one,
Open statement.
through the chair, do you mean as part of like the regular communications at the beginning of the meeting?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say that was my original idea.
Yeah, just so have each person be invited to speak at the
You already
council
got the
meeting.
job, man. You
Give
ain't
them
got
up to 3 minutes to
compete.
speak, and then
On the floor.
Then, I mean, if we wanted to deliberate, I think we have the right to deliberate privately as a body because make the appointment. We can't decide, but if we said, here's 5 things that we want in our candidate, we can agree on, setting our criteria, what looks the match, and then we would take a nomination after that.
I think that we should schedule a vote, a time. We should come up with a time that we are gonna have a raise your hand thing with a candidate. And we should have as many sessions as we can before that, So whatever meetings we got coming up, maybe we should start tackling these things together and having somebody speak to us,
Well,
whatever the case.
well,
may be.
The only next meeting we have scheduled prior to the next council meeting is the next budget hearing on March 3rd. So if we want to do something before that, we would have to schedule another meeting between now and next Tuesday, and then the council meeting is next Wednesday.
We could just do it all next one.
What's the deadline? What was the council meeting?
Is March 4th, next Wednesday. So we said initially when we started this process, we would like to do the appointment on March 4th to avoid having a special meeting. If we did not do it next Wednesday at March 4th, our time expires on the 17th. Our next council meeting is on the 18th. So we either have to do it at the meeting on the 4th or schedule a special meeting prior to on or before March 17th.
And we can do it all in one day. If we review the resumes ahead of time, we're permitted to call each other, right? It's not against sunshine or anything.
Or do we see if they're available at the next, what's our budget hearing look like next committee of the whole?
You're going to be addressing park and police, which are very detailed.
Well, if the police officers, the former police officers, request their information ahead of time.
You can't do nothing on the police day. So you need to try to figure out something around that.
So should we do something at that meeting with them? Do we need to, if we're gonna have them each speak, do we ask them to each come and give?
We gotta reach out to them. They gotta be here at the next budget meeting for the interviews,
Oh, it's not an interview,
For
it's
the
a,
speech. for the informative.
yeah.
Whatever.
I think we need to have our expectation clear. If they're just speaking like they were at a forum,
Would it be better for them to just speak on the council floor?
Okay. If that's what the group, thinks,
I said, yeah. Does it happen at the beginning of the meeting or the end of the meeting? Do they come in?
we could set the agenda how the body sees fit. We can do our regular business and then we could ask them, then we could set that they speak. We go into executive session, deliberate, come back and take a nomination. That would still be, as long as we,
When are you saying doing that?
Next council.
on
meeting.
Wednesday the 4th.
Next week.
Through the chair,
Yes, clerk.
you and I have had a brief discussion about this.
Yeah.
So, I can reach out via email to the 4 candidates tomorrow, invite them to your March 4 meeting. And again, this person is selected to serve the 6th ward. So it makes sense to have them say why they want to be the council person on the floor, because they need to be talking to the public. Even though you guys make the appointment, they need to be able to have a visible platform. So we give them the 3 minutes that we would give normal speakers. Why do you want to be the council person? Go through the 4, and then you all can hold it. And we can do an executive session at the end of council meeting after we do our business, or right after, and then we'll have to go back out. So.
Is that similar to what we discussed? Thank you for reminding me we had that discussion.
Yeah, that's somewhat what we discussed. Attorney
It's okay, you're not.
Adam suggested that initially, but we didn't know what our numbers look like. Today, we know it's 4 people. So it's not gonna take long, 15 minutes. You may even have somebody that can't make it next Wednesday at 5:30, but if that's what you all decide you wanna do, that's what the invitation is going to say. Come next Wednesday.
It's just these 4 people. It's not the ones that sent us letters to our city council.
You all opened it up.
I'm just saying that
It was
we
the 4
excluded
that all
those.
I got.
It's the body's pleasure. We can set the rules or change what we see fit to do, but when we made the announcement, we said we were making the announcement, please send your information if you want to be considered.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, some people had already sent the information before.
I don't know that.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I didn't-
emails, but we made it very clear, anybody who already had sent an email, now it is official, we are accepting them, resend
Is there
those,
someone you
keep the
want,
ones,
or
yeah.
you can, I don't have that list off of my,
I don't know if I'm the only one that got left. I got 2 letters in my council mailbox. If I'm the only one that got those letters, then it probably don't count.
I don't think we should
Unless,
rule anybody out. If somebody stands in front of them, they fit the qualifications to be a council person living in the ward and such, for whatever length of time that they supposed to be there.
I don't want to make the situation more difficult. I'm just saying, if you
Yeah.
tell people to send in information, some had already sent in information.
Well, I'm just saying, it's only a problem if we make it a problem, that person shows up, hey, I want this job, and say this and say that. We haven't done nothing with anything other than send out the resumes or whatever they sent in. So if you're saying if they haven't sent them so far, they can't be a candidate, I disagree. I think.
No, I'm just saying, do we include the people who we received either in our mailbox or in our inbox? In the communication from already.
I see nothing wrong with that.
Before.
I don't know, I mean, if there's an official way, to myself, maybe people don't know, to myself, or when someone asks to notify council, my view is that notice is served to council through the clerk. That's for, official matters. I don't know what that's my feeling, Adam. I don't know if there's an official rule, or Valencia, if that's an official way that we, when something gets, entered to the body, if it goes to Councilman Ray, is it my responsibility to report it to the rest of the body? Or how do we receive official notice? Do we have an official way to receive official notice?
It really just depends. It really just depends. So if there was someone that,
Hold on.
I'm sorry, if there was someone that submitted information to you guys directly and didn't submit it to the office of the clerk, I would have no way of knowing that unless you shared that with me. Secondly, my concern is that you all as the body made the decision at the last budget hearing that this is the date that we're going to open it up, and anybody who's interested in serving needs to submit by Friday, which was your deadline date to the office of the clerk. So if there's other people outside of that, I would have no way of knowing, because we didn't officially open it up until last Thursday the 12th, and put the process out there. Email, hard copy, however you need to get it to the clerk if you're interested in this vacancy by Friday, 11:59 is what you all decided. So anything that came before, it's not a part of the record. It's not a part of what I sent out to the law director. It's not a part of what I sent out to the media when they said who was interested, because they're going by the press release that you all told me to send out.
That's no legal binding anything. If a
Right,
person
correct.
wants to show up and say they want, and they got the support of council to do that, then that's all that's required.
Fair. That is valid. If someone wanted to schedule to speak, that sent something in ahead of time and wanted to be considered, I mean, they have a right to, you're saying don't deny anyone. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying,
Okay.
and Adam said it first, so it gotta be right.
I'm just thinking some of these people probably was like, we already sent it in.
Right. We tried to be clear and specify, but I think we should be more inclusive than exclusive.
So we're all in agreement of Wednesday. We're gonna do our have them speak, and then we're gonna hold an executive session, and we'll do a nomination on the floor once we're done.
Is that the consensus here to
Yes, no,
Pat,
Yes, me.
Julius,
Yes.
Amber?
so that's.
yes, in regarding what though? Are we
Yes,
opening
and-
this back
That
up?
we're gonna
No,
deal with
just-
this March
We're only
4th.
doing these
The
four.
first question was, are we going to have them speak at the council meeting? That's what I'm asking if we agree on.
Here's what I say about that. We need we need to vote from 6 of us, you know, in order to even have the vote. And if we can't get 6 of us to vote on that, we can't, I don't think we should make a rule.
There's a majority.
Well, the majority is gonna be 4.
So it's just 4 that would have to be there. The do business, we just need 4. So 4 people could make the decision.
4 people can make a decision, yes.
You just couldn't have a council meeting if we don't have
We couldn't suspend the rules to
I don't
expedite
have
the
a
list.
problem with suspending the rules. I have a problem with anything else. I have a problem with we making new rules as to even what in setting guidelines and procedures when not all of us are together to make that, to make that happen or to be, whatever the case could be. Now,
That would be whoever's absence issue to have, right?
well, there's some of us concerned about those who are not here, but maybe that's just me.
It's just,
You say it's just me?
Well, I mean, in order to be efficient and meet the deadline that we said, I think we need to make a decision today. The next time we're meeting as a committee would be next Tuesday. Then the council meeting is Wednesday. That wouldn't be very fair to the potential candidates to tell them they're good.
Wouldn't be very fair if it's 2 of us don't show up neither, you know?
we doing it Wednesday or? We
Yes,
agree with Wednesday?
I don't have a problem doing it Wednesday. You know, I don't have a problem as Pat, because you
I'm not
know,
being ignorant. I gotta stand up to my niece.
yeah, kind of like you said.
So I don't know, we were taking a vote if we wanted to do the interview or have everyone wanted under consideration to speak at the council meeting. And we had Pat, Julius,
Yes.
and Amber say yes.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, so all 5 present agree that we should invite the people who received it to speak for 3 minutes at the council meeting. The next one would be then do we all agree that we would go into an executive session to deliberate?
Yes.
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 Okay,
Through the chair, and this is to the pro temp and the clerk. My general appreciation is we're not in the meeting when the people are speaking.
we should open the meeting.
So A, I wanted to know how the clerk wanted to handle that. B, we have to be in the meeting to move into executive session.
Right.
And I think I think the cleanest way would be to just do our normal let them speak as we would anybody else. Conduct our normal business. The last thing is to move into executive session, come back and accept motions. And I would again state that reading the minutes from that 1998 meeting, that's what happened. They did their regular meeting, their regular communications, open the meeting, pledge, legislation. And then they took the nominations by motion and voted. Then they adjourned the meeting. I think that's the cleanest way to do it, the way we actually open and know the actual meeting.
I absolutely agree. My question would be, does council feel today that you're gonna need an executive session before you go into nomination? Is that why we're even talking about an
Yeah,
executive session? Okay, so.
absolutely. I
Feeling
think.
like they're gonna need an executive session.
Once we hear the individuals speak, I think we should at least consider it.
So we have to come back out, open up the meeting, do the nominations, come before and then.
I don't necessarily want to say that we should have or we should not have. I think that should be, yeah. I don't want it to be absolutely, we're gonna have nominations afterwards. We may change our mind when that time comes. We may hear ourselves talking or whatever the case would be. We can make up our mind, we're gonna do nomination at that time, I think.
Yeah, we can't make a nomination in executive session. We would have to make a nomination.
No, that's happening on the floor.
Well,
That's
what
an
all I'm
official
saying
business.
is that to make it a rule now, we will do nominations after that executive session when we come back on the floor. What I'm saying is that let's just have it as possible. We do nominations. It depends on how we'll decide at that time whether or not we can do nominations.
I think the argument back that's not very fair to the candidate or the person, that we're gonna have you come here and then we may.
Then don't have them come then. And then we just.
And then when will we do it, then we'd have to have a special meeting if we didn't do it there.
You still talking about what's fair to the candidates and we the one voting for them, they
Fair.
want to do that,
Councilman Hughes was suggesting that, why are we saying that we're gonna vote on it on Wednesday? He was,
I think it's gonna be very difficult for us to get all four of us to say the same person.
I agree with that.
yeah, it's,
I think that's back and forth. So you pushing for us to get a non-vote, a non-pick. And so if you make these rules, we vote, do we get a chance to vote again? Is that it?
I want to be clear, I'm not pushing for anything. I'm asking for the consensus of the group.
To not get more than, you make it.
Well, I'm just trying to say, if we don't get it, does it automatically go to the mayor?
No, we haven't.
We have until the
You have another
17th.
week to have another meeting, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Through the chair, you would just make the nomination, if a majority fails, then the motion fails. And somebody could submit another nomination, vote on it. If there's not a majority, motion
Until the
fails.
17th.
And then eventually,
Close the
somebody
meeting.
would do a motion to adjourn, you'd get a second for that. And then you would coordinate scheduling a special meeting prior to the 17th.
And if we can't come up with anything by the 17th, then it's gonna get
That
registered
seems,
there.
that works for me.
Okay.
Excuse me, okay, what?
So
What did you-
Councilman Hughes said he was amenable to us taking the nominations on the floor. So I guess I would just pull everyone here. Jimmy, you're okay with doing the nominations on the floor? And if we'd have to have a special meeting, if we don't solve it there, then we would have a special meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Amber?
Yes.
Julius? Yes. Yes, so, and someone will have to, so that the consensus was our goal is to do nominations on the floor. However, if someone does not get a majority and we are at a stalemate, we will have to schedule a special meeting to resolve this prior to the expiration of our 30 days.
So the clerks, from the clerk standpoint, just invite the folks tomorrow, give them a week's notice to come and speak, 3 minutes, March 4, and then see how it goes. Our agenda will be pretty much like it normally is. And then you all will.
What was the disposition of handling people that were outside of the requested period?
I like to not move anyone.
Okay.
That's the job.
I think they submitted before they had to.
So they can be invited to be on the
I
agenda.
mean, one of them resubmitted, so I mean.
There multiple did. Anyone that reached out to me, they said I submitted, I said, we announced that we want you to submit it. This is official. Anything else you did was on your own. It was not, this is the process and here's who to submit it to.
Just kind of clarify what
I
I
know
was
3
gonna say.
people reached out to me, but the 3 are on that list already, so. If you got 2 people on the list that's not there, tell them to come.
One on it and one not.
So I look at it like we kind of set the opening date through the media, through public, through clerk. We put that out that this is the deadline. Anything that we have received, this was in the newspaper, this was on the media, does not count.
We didn't say that. We set a deadline.
Yeah. So anything that we have been submitted at this point, it has to go through the clerk, correct?
Yeah.
So anything that we have received up until that point, it wasn't public record. So they would have to resubmit that information to the clerk to become public record.
I think it was still public record. I mean, not want to split hairs. I'm just trying to get clarification. I mean, Adam, if we received it, it's a record, right? If we received it.
Through the chair, if you receive it and relates to the conduct of official business, then yes.
Okay, so then my question is, so for that date, what was the point in setting that date in open record and having a deadline if we were just gonna accept those other requests in the first?
I agree with you.
I mean, I thought it was because we was trying to.
You don't have to vote. You don't have to. It's 4 of us gonna vote. You don't have to vote on anybody that put it in late, that came and showed up. Just exclude them yourself. I mean, for us to make all of this, more complicated than it should be. You know, if you feel that way about it, fine. You know, my argument means nothing because if 5 other people say, hey, we disagree, they're not gonna vote for anybody with me. I got no candidate in this, you know, I mean, the way I look at it is that, well, I don't have a candidate yet, but I don't want to say I don't have a candidate. But the point still being is, it still takes 4 of us to make a decision and all agree on one person, which I think is virtually impossible. But
So, and I mean, just in throwing this out there, I'm not, anybody could sign up to speak. They could sign up and speak on there and say, I didn't follow the process. I'd like to be considered. And if it's outside of bounds for you, Amber, you don't have to vote on them. You would strike them in your book. We all gonna have different reasons why we strike people.
Anybody can come and speak
Right.
at public
Okay.
meetings. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That was thank you, Councilman Hughes, for that. I mean, I respect both points and we said the process we should follow, but our colleagues say, let's be more inclusionary than exclusionary. So,
That's fine with me, Jen.
because I guess also, if there was something out of left field where someone said, and they wanted to nominate somebody, they still could, there's no restriction that nomination couldn't be entertained on the floor. They would have to have someone second it. And for it to go anywhere, they would have to have 4 people agree to it. So,
Through the chair, I told the mayor when he was interviewing department heads, don't pretend like you're the Civil Service Commission bound by 50 pages of rules as to who you can pick or not. And I would tell this body the same thing. They have to meet the eligibility requirements of the charter. You guys have established your process and, if that's following that process is in itself a indicator of competence to you, then vote in that manner. But you guys can pick whoever you want from the 6th ward, so long as they meet the requirements of the charter. 21 years old and live in the 6th ward.
there's certain time they have to live in the 6th ward in order to be eligible.
I believe it's
1 year.
It was 1 year?
1 year.
1 year.
Year 5 for mayor, 1 for council person.
I think maybe that's what we, make sure we can communicate that's I think everyone does, but we have to do any kind of check to the people that. Any other comments?
Big storm up here where you from, Captain.
Are we good? Are we good? Clerk, do we have a clear process?
That's my aunt's house.
We have a process. Any other reflection from the law director?
No,
No. I can't move to adjourn, so I would ask somebody
Yeah,
else.
so, all right, and this reminder, we have our next, meeting on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at 3 PM. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned. Second.
It's been moved and second to adjourn the meeting at 4:52.
recent,
That was yesterday.
yesterday's no, geez.